So my wife had some Girls in Action business. We have a chapter down there in Atlanta, Girls in Action chapter. So that chapter, we had up there. My wife was able to do a fundraiser. So we did all right. Anyway, congratulations to the Patriots. They played well enough to win. They are bad. They are the dynasty. And to be quite honest with you, I want them to go back again because if you don't beat the Patriots, you ain't the champion. You know, right. So come on.
You gotta beat the best.
You gotta beat the best, right?
Yeah.
And they played when it mattered because in the regular season they was kind of on trash.
What?
They showed up when it mattered.
Yeah, they lost that first.
I'm a New England fan.
Yeah, they lost.
Definitely not if you're telling me they're
I'm gonna be
trash at
honest
any
with
point.
you. I'm not one of the fans.
That's right.
To see something like, oh, he didn't do that. No, he did that.
Yeah, that's right. They were getting their butts whooped that first couple of games. Anyway, man, well, let's move on. We got a few announcements. Wayne, you got some announcements. It is a bad night out. You know,
terrible night.
It won't be any bigger than this. A few people have called. They're trying to get there. A few people have called.
It's rough.
They can't make it.
It's rough.
And that. So we good. We just gonna let it do what it do. Does anybody have anything that's pressing? That you need to talk about?
I just want to talk about my weekend. It was good, but now I got me back. Oh, I do. I need back.
Some of the pop guys I am about to move from 53rd to 26th.
You moving?
Hey, I wrote a letter, and matter of fact, Wayne dictated the letter. It's the first time I ever had to do it, but he did a good job. Franco Monsays, to try to back these people up off him a little bit. You remember what we're talking about? And I've given a hard copy to him. But would you print me a copy? I'm going to read it out. Sure. Please. I sent him a hard copy. Now, I'm going to just edit it a little bit and send it to his PO and PO supervisor. Because they own him. You know. We can't have that. Calvin called. Calvin, he's in the hospital. He called me yesterday morning. He was crying because he just wants to get out of that nursing home. He had an operation, on his neck and back, and he just hasn't really recovered. And he's been living in the nursing home. Public housing had denied him, saying he was a threat. But now he's been there 8 months and he hasn't bothered anybody. So we're trying to knock back on public housing's door for him. You know what I mean? But he was asking for some prayer. This is just tonight on the way here. Calvin called in, we might call him later, just holler at him. Anybody else got anything they want to bring up?
Yeah, so got this, I've been doing good since I've been out.
Say your name so everybody knows.
Justin, Pop Guy. I've been doing good since I've been out, and I was kind of talking to him about it on the bus today. So I got a job, was doing good, getting experience. But the day when James came here, I actually followed through with that, and I got hired there too to pay second shift was $16 an hour, so I got hired to get paid $16 an hour. But now the thing is that's from 4 o'clock to 12 at night. I don't get off till 4 o'clock. I work 7:30 to 4. So I had talked to the place I worked yesterday. It was like, hey, can I leave at 3 so I can be at this place at this time? And they didn't really like that. I'm still appreciating the opportunity, but I really want that job though, because I pay $16 an hour, and all I'm doing is on a converter belt. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want me to leave this job, but I committed, because I committed to both jobs like at the same time, but I committed to that job. So I'm kind of like conflicted on what to do, because this job is still knocking. Like I just got a text from James, I can show you. So this job is still knocking at the door for $16 an hour, and I was talking to Marvin about it, because he came to talk about it yesterday. And I want to show him loyalty, But at the same time, I want to do what's best for me, so I don't know what to do.
That's a great proposition. And so, Mike, we're gonna throw you in there too on this because, I got a call, just so you know how this thing go. I got a call from Marvin yesterday saying, or could have been this morning that you didn't show up. Let's listen. This is all love in here. But, because you had kind of this similar challenge because you got hired at the other place too. And you and I talked about it, and I thought you agreed to wait and take the other one, the one he's talking about. But Marvin was under the impression that you was coming there. So see how that confusion is. And Marvin he's somebody to us. And so if you make that commitment, now one of the things that Marvin has that he don't come right out and say that's helpful to you is also helpful to us is that Marvin has a $1,500 subsidy that he can utilize for each guy that's over there in his program. So what that has done for men who have used it wisely, we have had guys have that paid their whole first month's rent, half, and then they stacking money in the meantime. You get what I'm saying? And building up a little bankroll, So that can go there, but you don't have to use it for rent. You could use it for something like a driver's license or some training thing or work boots, or you have that as an opportunity. There's a couple of guys in here who have utilized that. So I want y'all to chime in too to say if that's been helpful to you or not, just so that these guys have an idea of what they're actually getting into. And Mike, what you got?
I did what you had told me because he said a 90-day commitment. I called him yesterday and told him I appreciate him for the opportunity, but I got something going on with Masterson. And you know what I'm saying? I can't guarantee you that 90-day commitment. So, give somebody else a try because I'm going to see how this play out.
But you didn't actually talk to him?
No, it was a voice message. I left him his voicemail because he told me if I can't make it, if anything changed, to call him and leave him a message. So after I talked to you, and you said be respectful when you told him, so evidently he has not checked his message.
Okay. So somebody else who has used the subsidy, talk about that. Go ahead. All three of y'all. All four of y'all.
Well, I used it when I got out. It came in very helpful. That way, I don't know when you got out. It was recently, I assume.
Only been out for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, both of y'all. But especially when it comes to your first month's rent, I know it's very valuable. That way, you're not struggling to get back ahead. You know what I mean? Plus, on top of that, Marvin has a ton of other resources as well. He hooked me up with a whole kit when I got home. So yeah, I don't know. It was good for me. It worked for me. I don't know. I can't say what it's gonna do for everybody else, but it worked for me.
I'm not.
All you gonna say?
I was never said I wanted to quit. That's what I explained tomorrow. I never said I wanted to quit. Their problem is they don't want me to work that job and another job, but they think it's gonna affect that job that I do in the morning time.
Well, it kind of sounds like it was designed to if you can do both, like if you can make it work, you do it.
Yeah, so I had talked to the guy, I think his name's Scott.
Yeah.
Talked to Scott about it and told Scott, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get off at 3 o'clock so I can do both. And then he was like, well, I don't want you to work this other job. But really, he told me, you should take the $16 hours off because this is for people that, just need a little help, a little boost, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, like, no, I still want to work here and be committed here. I just want to get off at 3 o'clock. And then he was like, well, what's your idea with this? I will still do the 90 days. I just want to work both jobs for the winter time. And then when the summertime, I want to work one job. It's just the winter time for I can start with paper. So he had told Marvin, and Marvin talked to me. It kind of seemed like I was unloyal type stuff because Marvin came and talked to me about it. I'm like, no, I'm not quitting this job. I just want to get off at 3. That's all. So I go to this other job.
So hold up. That's good. Thank you. Somebody else. Doug, you got that.
Marvin's been a great asset, you know. I got out and kind of lost and, you know, talked to Pops and wouldn't see Marvin and he said, you know, you can start tomorrow if you want. And he's got a program and paid the first month's rent. And then for the last 6 months, he's paid a third of my rent. And he took me out, got some work clothes, got some boots. And, you know, got me first month bus card. And, you know, I was in talking to him and he said, we ain't done what you get. You know, I don't know what that entails, but he said, we ain't done what you get. We got resources and stuff. You just, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, we'll make it happen.
Well, I know that.
Marvin's a good guy.
No, there's no question, there's no question about Marvin. But what we're just talking about is the pros and cons of working this, working that. And this is that's a great conversation for us to have. Terrence,
like when I first came home, you know, some of my family was, you know, was there, but not a lot of. My mom was there. Who has been over the last 10 years in my incarceration. Actually, she was there. But when I came home, I didn't have a ton of money. I didn't have, you know, I could barely buy a phone for myself. You know, and clothes, and even and I was moving to a different city, moving from St. Paul to Minneapolis. So as far as you know, how to get back and forth to work, I wasn't completely sure. Actually, Kev helped out a lot on that. But,
Got you, bro.
You know, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, bro. But Marvin, he came through, man. You know, with the job, he moved me to accessibility, and I went there and I worked for him. And I was just like, brother, I was trying to get up out of there too, honestly, because there was like different times they were trying to pay me more. I was thinking like, wait a minute, I know I'm worth a little bit more. That's, you know, whatever. However, I did stay a month at the job in which Marvin helped me get, you know, and I worked as though I was getting paid 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year, because it's partly who I am and the fact that I respect the person who brought me in here.
right.
So the one thing I didn't do when I transferred was I didn't leave on a bad note. I maintained a relationship. I can go in there and talk to any one of those persons because the relationship we had when I was there.
That's good.
You know, we can talk about anything, and they could vouch for the character I had while I was working. And
That's a great point. And I'm glad to hear you talk like that, man, because that's really important.
It is important.
Business.
It is important.
Oh, Dr.
And then, you know, Marvin, you know, as far as the specific specification of the rent, you know, he, like Pop said, I mean, the first month, he took care of the first month's rent, which means that I had resources or finances that I had already from my mom and other people who helped me out to take care of some other things that I needed, or even just put the stuff away.
Right.
You know, I had that.
Right.
That's a benefit. And also, Marvin, I mean, and this is a year later, Marvin just recently took me to go get some things. This is a year later. You know, and I had the refund, I had the plans to get it myself, but Marvin wanted to help out. With work boots, the coat that I walked in with, he got that, his hat right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to maintain that relationship is important. It's critical.
Wow, that's a great testimony. I'll come to you next.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, all of those things. Wow. When the rent portion of it for me was, I didn't even know Marvin was paying it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Pops had to tell me, say, yeah, Marvin paid half of it this month. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then the following month, Marvin paid half of it. I didn't even know he was paying it. Because I told him that $1,500, I said, well, when I gave them my 2 weeks notice, because I stayed on for 2 weeks before I left. I found a job, but I told him I'm gonna stay for 2 weeks, you know what I mean, before I go. I don't wanna just leave like that, you know what I mean? He was just, okay, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you doing that, you know? But, you know, once I left, the following month, maybe even 3 months, you know, he paid half of my rent. You know, I didn't even know it. I even remember expressly telling him to take the money, you know what I mean, and funnel it towards another guy who probably needed more. You know what I mean? But he was like, no, that's yours.
you know, we ain't done yet.
Right.
That's what he said. We're not finished yet. And even today, every quarter I send him copies of my pay stubs. You know what I mean? I send him copies of my pay stubs. So this is, you know, what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, Marvin is a good guy.
No.
And I run into him all the time too.
Right, and,
Yeah.
and so, and you know, Marvin is not on trial here, but we just, but we just, we are, you know, he's a pop guy, so that's what we do, but I just want everybody to hear this. Kev, you're next.
All right.
John, it's good to see you, man.
So I got out 2 weeks before Peaches, before Terrence, and it's like he said, I came home. Second Chance was full. They were not in the hiring phase. So Marvin didn't say, I don't have anything for you. He made a guy on his phone call and went to his Rolodex of resources, and I started accessibility.
Yeah.
And like everyone else said, he paid the first month rent. Something else no one else has said was the deposit. That's a double up. That's twice. So if your rent's $600, that's another $600 for the first month's rent.
No, it's only $150. Just so you.
Not for Pop, but for everyone else.
For everybody else.
Yeah,
Just listen.
So that's the second part, because it doesn't matter if you go there or whatever, they have that option to do that for you. But moving forward, things like accessibility, what are the best working conditions? We made it work. I mean, it was better than what I was doing in Anagram.
Yeah.
Moving forward, the things I was able to get from it, like, I still work with Emerge right now to this day. And I have had a different job, gone back to prison, went back to my same job. This jacket I have on, work boots, a utility knife, a bike clock, a light for it. Like, the things that you tell Marvin you need are the things that he is going to provide for you. And if he is unable to at that moment, he will point you, call, and set you up with the person that is able to do that. For instance, whether it be credit building.
Yeah, I'm doing that Thursday.
Whether it be credit building, whether it be ready for success, housing. And it's not just like a one-stop shop, but one major component of the requirements to stay active within the program is you have to be, which I think might be what you might be running up against, but you just not know it yet. Because as Pop said, he doesn't come out and just say, though, I got $1,500 for it, you work it. He doesn't hold it in front of you that way. One active component of that is you have to be active in one of the Emerge's programs in order to be covered under the umbrella of what Emerge has in their nonprofit. So with that being said, if you do the workforce, if you meet with your workforce, you got a form of communication or contact at least once a month, I believe it is. I go to financial literacy every week, once a week, because
Now I start that tomorrow, so I'm still in with Emerge because Sherry is my case manager. And I meet with her, she tweaking my resume again. I start the financial class tomorrow with Julia from 6:30 to 9. But my problem is it was just miscommunication because when Pop sent me to see the man a couple of weeks ago, I went to see him. He pressed to me and kept saying, I need a commitment for 90 days. He called me the other day, I need a commitment for 90 days. Okay, so I'm gonna show some loyalty. Hey, I hooked up with James, and Masterson is finna call me, and I ain't gonna be able to give you 90 days. So now if I'm gonna sit here and tell you I'm gonna give you my word, I'm gonna give you 90 days, and I ain't. That's where the miscommunication came from me with. I don't want to tell you I'm gonna do something I'm not.
Yeah, see, don't be all defensive.
Right,
It's all right. It's all right. Go ahead.
I don't mean to speak for his thoughts or like what he was thinking, like what happened between you all, but I've spent a lot of time sitting with Marvin in his office while he's answering calls from Peaches or someone else that is a Pop guy or someone else in our situation. So it may not be that he is so much about you, but if all of us went through Emerge and Marvin, that's just these guys in this room. I had to do a head count. And then multiply that by three. So that's 3 times the amount of people in this room all calling. And if he has, it's grant money. You know what that is. They get paid. That money's available. If you ask for $1.5 million, they give it to you. You only spend $1 million. Next time you ask for $1.5 million, they're not going to give it to you because you're not using that resource.
Now we're a little bit off track, but your point is well taken out. So let's just kind of stay with this whole notion because I think we're really hitting on some good stuff. Now also, Devon, you finish it up.
Oh man, I mean, loyalty. That's who I am, man. You know, so
I mean, if I'm with you, I'm down with you. You know, I represent Pop to the fullest. And they know it. You married, you know it. Because when we have our little meetings, hey, I'm a Pop guy. You know, but I'm loyalty. And when I say that is being on a time, having a great attitude. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes, like you said, you know, you brothers can't, you know, we can't do it. But here it is again. We got to crawl before we walk. And that's how I go. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody want to get on the bandwagon. Everybody want to be up there. Some of us, we can't. Because we got a lot of stuff going on. You know, like my job. I take my job as instance. You know, a lot of guys do a lot of things. You know, on the phone, doing what they want to do, stuff like that. But here it is, when the real job comes, I'm going to say it one more time so everybody can hear it. When the real job comes, you ain't going to be ready for that. Ain't none of that bathroom break.
Right.
Ain't none of that.
Right.
You went already.
Right.
On your break time, your lunch time,
Right.
period.
That's a great point.
So here it is again. You have to think about where you know, Marvin's a great guy, but it's not even about Marvin. Right. It's about self-knowledge. Right. It's about self. I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to do right for whoever around me, who are around me. But you know, we got it, like I said, for you, brother, like you know what I'm saying? I love you, you know what I'm saying? We got bills to pay. We moving people's houses. And we got to pay bills. I don't care, look. Then I gotta wait 2-3 months to tell this man, look, check this out, man, I got you next time. It ain't like that, period. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't saving. You know, I like to look good. I'm dressing myself. But you know what? Number one thing first, paying my rent. Talk about me, hey.
Yeah, that's right. So let's give a little dap for that. Will, can you chime in on that? What's your thoughts? And then I'm gonna finish up with it.
Well, you know, I was thinking, you know, the first thought was, you know, well, you know, you're getting a better opportunity, you know, you should go for it. But then when I thought that, quickly the thought came into my head that I probably wouldn't do that. But only because, you know, those opportunities come and go, but you're going to build your life and your relationships on your word. And you know, my word is more valuable than a present, a present opportunity, because you know, I got to live with myself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look at myself in the mirror, and and when I give my word, and if I sell it out for, you know, something, then, you know, it'll tear me up. It'll bug me like I'm not the man that I thought I was. So you know, so I don't know, you know what I'm saying, all the specifics and you know what I'm saying? I just hear you saying, you know, something better coming along, and you have a right to better yourself, and it's unfortunate that they don't have something interwoven in their clause that will allow for someone to exit if, you know, if the opportunity would help you to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So, and I mean, this is a good discussion that it's really important to have it, not just for Justin, but for everybody in here. I think, for me, I'm just going to chime in and Duval was making a good point. This is what I'm saying directly to you. I really like your energy, and I like your ambition. You want to get that money. I like that. That reminds me of me. The piece that I think that you don't see is, you know, the dynamics of working 2 jobs, believing that you're going to be fully capable at both sites. Have you ever had a job before? Yes or no?
Yes.
What did you do?
Worked at Taco Bell, Menards, and State Fair.
Okay. And just be honest, but what was the longest time you ever kept a job?
4 months.
Okay. So, and that's great. But this is trying to move you into the work world at a pace that you can manage. And what I think is, and I think maybe this could be Marvin's thinking, is that 2-job piece might be too much for you to bite off right now, even though it sounds good. This is what I would suggest. If you want to do the second job more, then sit down with Marvin and say, you know what, man? I'm gonna go with this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good to me. It feels right somehow. I'm gonna go with this. And it's not gonna be about being mad or get out of shape or nothing like this here. What they're also doing over there is they have a business, so they need people to move business. So they're asking for a 90-day commitment so that they can attend to the things that they're doing on a day-in, day-out basis relevant to recycling. That's really what the 90-day commitment is about. For 90 days, they can take it off their mind that they have to find somebody else to come in here and do the job you get ready to do. I don't think that's a lot to ask myself. But I do think for the benefits that are there for you, the chance of you being in another environment where there are no Marvins or Pops or this or that, and you just on your own, or maybe you got one other guy or this and that, and you in this work world, are you ready to really manage that? And if you feel like you are, then you need to make the decision for yourself, and you need to sit down with Marvin face to face, not the Scott guy. Marvin is our guy. If now I am talking about Marvin. If Marvin wasn't there, we wouldn't be messing with Emerge at all.
No.
But this is our guy, and because of that, we want to give that guy all the respect in the world. And I believe that Marvin has to maintain some credibility with his peers. Scott is his peer. So then what does Scott think? Hey, Marvin's giving these guys opportunities, but they can't even stick for 90 days. It makes Marvin's walk a little bit more crooked. You get what I mean? Now, is that going to stop him from being who he is? No. And, something's going to make your walk a little bit more crooked, and it can't stop you either. But be clear. This is where I think this is what we've been talking about, patience. Just be clear. You decided, you made it a clear decision. Tell the man to his face. You know what, Marvin? I appreciate it, because if you do that, the door is going to be open for you. But if you mishandle it, then you burn a bridge, you close that door, and you might not be able to loop your way back. Right? So be responsible. The voicemail was good, but direct contact is better. So once you made that direct contact, he knows what your thinking is, and you have manned up around that situation. You get what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Same thing for you. Think it over, make your own decision, and then win or lose it because you decided, not because nobody else. What we're trying to do is give you some feedback and help you make a wise decision. I will. Go ahead.
Yeah, I came in late, but what I'm hearing, how it operates, Marvin is trying to teach professionalism, whether you are exiting or coming into the company, and he's going to keep chiming on that. He and Scott kind of have an agreement that we're going to teach these guys to be professional men in the work world as possible. He even chewed me out about leaving on the 85th day.
Mm-hmm.
And gave me some point.
He's supposed to get 90.
He's supposed to get 90 about me on the 85. Gave me some helpful feedback about professionalism and 2-week notice, 1-week notice, and keeping the executives and supervisors up to date on my moves.
That's good.
what's coming about leaving the company. And so at the end of the day, Marvin is trying to make us more work conscious and responsible when we get to those professional jobs, those higher paying jobs, where the reference is that you the other job guaranteed. So that's kind of what the lesson is trying to teach.
And I think that's a great point. And let me just while that point is on the table, you know, job correctness, I call it. Say job correctness.
Job correctness.
I only heard a few people.
Job correctness.
There are some things that are correct for your job that you don't do other places, and there's some things that are correct for other places you don't do on your job. And I think a lot of times I have found guys get opportunities but don't understand
Job
For one thing, this is the #1 complaint I get from employers who take guys on a second chance theology. They always on the phone. You're on your phone during the break. You're on your phone during the 2-minute lapse. You're on your phone just playing a game. You're on your phone because you're on your phone, and you don't understand that's still your phone. Say my phone.
My phone.
And you can be on your phone when it's on your time. But when you are at a
Job.
say it louder than that.
Job.
To be real honest with you, what a job means is that somebody is renting or leasing you. They are renting or leasing you for a certain amount of time. Say time.
Time.
Now, the majority of those jobs are an 8-hour lease or commitment. During that time, you have to recognize the people, place, things, and behavior that you bring to your
Job.
and the correctness that goes along with it. The number 2 issue that guys have, second chance guys, is that they always late. Not sometimes late, but always late. Because we be thinking, because we don't have
Job
too quiet though.
Yeah, that's right.
You be thinking, I'm here. You thinking, because you showed your face.
Right.
That ought to be enough for them people. Well, you know what? No, it's not. The truth of the matter is you're supposed to be there ahead of your shift, at least 15 minutes, if not a little bit more, and presenting yourself to do for your lease. Your lease is also equivalent to your check. I just want to unpack it a little bit. And so to that extent, you can't always be late. Number 3. Say number 3. Number 3 is people know, this is second chance people. No call.
No show.
No show. And the reason why this is because in some ways we don't understand.
Job correctness.
I don't hear a lot of that.
Job correctness.
Because we're still doing the streets. See, so we still, come on, we still doing the streets. So we bringing still that street stuff into the job. And somebody can up here, in their job be offensive to you, and then you go, I can't, why you being so quiet? And then you go to the streets, and then you got all that anger, and you're really dealing from a place of pain, and then also you're still a big old victim. And all of this stuff, you're not in the street, man. So you have to adopt another strategy for managing your issues.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm going to take you back to silent cry. Those of you who have had that, my wife calls it a private snatching. But you may have somebody on your job who's offensive. And it happens. You may have to say, you know what? You know, Fred, I'm just using Fred, I don't know who it is. You know, Fred, I didn't care for that. I just want you to know. Right? You're all right with me. But I didn't care for that. Looking Fred directly in his eye and saying something to Fred. Watch this. Let me put this in. Yeah. Okay, watch this. I'm supposed to be felony. Watch this. Watch. I'm just going. I just want to go on a little bit further. A little bit further. You got to recognize when you go for a second chance, if you have a felony, right, and you exhibit some anger. Well, you are suddenly, absolutely, and positively incorrect for the
job. Correct.
And so we want to ease you out. Because you haven't gotten over yourself enough to even understand the place that you're currently in. There's another syndrome that's germane to men. You can be a
Big man.
Say it loud.
Big man.
Big men have a certain type of dynamic about them. I don't care if it's a big white man, a big black man, this and that. Just a big man. Watch this. A big man with a felony. So see, you can be fine and dandy. You and Fred play all the time. But then Fred said that one thing. And then you said, Fred. And all of a sudden, to Fred, you became a
Big man.
with a
Felony.
who seems very
Angry.
and bringing all kinds of
Streets.
Fred thinks he belongs there, and you're just visiting. I'm doing better teaching than y'all saying anything. Fred been working all his life. He never was in the penitentiary. Not because Fred is not a criminal, but Fred, for some other reason, that fool didn't get caught doing whatever that is that Fred does. And Fred believes he's got a right. He's got a right to that job. He's got a right to that money. And I am giving you an opportunity, Daniel. Who are you to tell me what to do? I'm teaching good. Well, watch this.
Right.
Then you see, and big men, watch this. All big men, they know this. You don't even know, but you'll be in the land of the big men. Big men have a way of making people feel comfortable with them. These are big men who understand.
Correct.
They're not bringing no street stuff in. They already know they big. It could be big and or big and or big and
Angry.
yeah. Any of those dynamics they know can roast them because they're so big. So you find a lot of big men are very articulate, and they're also very soft-spoken. Those big men, and they're also very patient, good listeners. You can say something to a big man, he won't pop off on you like little homie, right? Who's always trying to prove something. But big men who have a felony, who are black or white, they can't come in with that syndrome because they're already big, so it makes instantly your whole plant, your office, everybody hears about it. Somebody sent an email out, he's so big. Who should I talk to? They sent an email, this is about you. You don't know about all of this. But this is how the work world goes. And if you're not ready, if you don't come to the work world with your
Job.
yeah, somebody will hand you your hat. And they'd be correct in doing it. Because it's not because you don't know how to play the game at this level. Right? And so part of what Marvin is trying to do, and you know, Marvin, I'd say Marvin specifically is trying to give our guys an opportunity. I personally feel they could do a much better job at teaching what I'm sharing with you right now, but they don't do it. But they don't understand how to do it. They don't really know how to go about getting after these little these vicissitudes that will cause you to understand how to manage your business. You have people at your job smoking in the bathroom and doing all kinds, doing all because really they still got all of this. You ain't talking loud enough. But a pop guy is supposed to have some level of training. Now, some level of pop guys here have a lot of training, some not so much. But still, the 4 dynamics still apply. In the work world, you're only going to meet 4 kind of people. They're going to be adders, subtractors, multipliers, dividers. Watch this. That's if you understand that, then you have an undergirding for being in the work world and exhibiting job records. If you don't present yourself as an adder, then somebody will mess around and think, oh, he's a divider. He's a subtractor. Why? Because you're smoking in the bathroom all the time. You're always cussing in the environment. You holler at all the women who are in there. You disrespect them. Your mouth is foul. Every now and then I'm like, look, man, get on out of here and take that stuff back to the streets. I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to stop. Right? You could be a little man, small man. Felony, black, or white. You can't play your spade in a place where they play big whist.
That's right. 2 different games.
It's another game. And if you come in here, I don't care if it is what they call in Marlo's place now, second chance or pathways. They keep changing the name. I can't keep up with it. I just keep up with him. But whatever the game is, whatever they call in your job, you have to bring something to it. Let me just go one step deeper. Some people want to drink, smoke weed, and use on the job, and feel like, hey, it's all right. It's all right to do that. No, Negro. Goes for everybody. What's all right for you is to get your behind back to the street. Or decide. Somebody decide. Say decide. Say it louder than that.
Decide.
Or make a decision to change some of your behavior so that you can exist in the world you prayed for when you was incarcerated. Right. The one you was praying about, you wanted when you was locked up. Right? Right now, I got about 7 out of 10 men who are going through the parole process who have never even had a job, not even the 4 months he had. 4 months is no job experience. I'm just going to tell it to you straight. It's what you have, so it's germane to you. But the truth of the matter is, we got some guys that are locked up, never had a job, been on selling weed, crack, rocks, heroin, from day one. So when they're moving through the process, case managers up there talking about, okay, yeah, this is what you need to do, you need to work, you need to do this, you need to work. They didn't do nothing when they was in the penitentiary to add value. Nothing. And so what is the odds that this individual is going to be able to come out and be received in the work world when he has no skills there? And Marvin and them are taking that population and saying, we're going to try to meet you where you are and try to give you an opportunity to earn a paycheck and try to help you see your way clear and get some work experience under your belt. Yes, sir. Now, and that's what job correctness is. Tony just walked in. I'm going to tell you something about.
How you late, Tom?
Fantastic. That boy love his job. But I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something though. He went through about 20 temp jobs. I could be lowballing, Will. It could have been 25 or 30. 3 days, 7 days, a check, he was out. Somebody said something, he was out. But I believe somehow
slowly, he was getting enough
Job
job correctness to where he was ready and the job was ready, and they presented themselves at the right time. Let me just say one more thing about the street. This ain't all bad. The street stuff is not all bad. Some of the skills that maybe, I'm gonna just speak for myself. Some of the skills that I learned in the streets, I'm still doing them now. Now I changed up a few things about it, right? But the skill set didn't come from no place else except for the streets. I was always, just to get to your point, I was always liking money. Say money.
Money.
Oh. I didn't stop liking that just because I squared up. You ain't saying nothing. All right. You ain't got to stop liking money because now you're working for it. You just have to learn how to make your money work for you. Right. I'm just trying to help somebody. Was that helpful to anybody? So, who got a comment or does anybody got a closing comment or something? We didn't even get to the act of faith. We're going to go to that. Don, you want to read that for me?
Okay, here you go. I got it in my hand.
Okay. Anybody have a comment or a word about it? Did we get anything out of that?
Oh, yeah.
So, Justin, it's on you to make your decision, right? And then whatever that is, we're gonna support you, but we want to see you. We want to see you win. Right. Sisters, you have a thought on that?
Yes.
Come on.
Well, I've been in the streets and selling drugs and selling this and selling that, and all my life I've been in the fast lane. All my life. I'm 60 years old, and this is the first time that I've had a job.
Wow.
And I go to my job no matter what. If it's cold, if it's, my knees is hurting and my back's hurting and I'm barely making it, I go because it's giving me value to my life. Yeah. And I'm feeling valuable to myself for the first time ever.
Wow.
So it's a little job. It doesn't pay much. It's hard work. We know that, but it'll build value in you.
Wow.
And you'll begin to turn. Your thinking will begin to turn, and you'll begin to look at yourself in a more positive way, in a more respectful way than out there in the streets where you just, it's all get it, do what you got to do to get what you want. This is slow, but I'm saving my money. I'm proud of it, and I have everything I need right now. And so, you got people there. People are there at that job to help you, and they're mentors. And if you haven't had a job, it's good to be there to build yourself up until you can get a job. Because then you're on your own.
That was good.
So I could go so it'd be good for me just to go talk to him tomorrow.
Just between y'all.
You do what you do.
And I want to know, I ain't trying to burn no bridges in there, I don't want to just.
I think he would honor that. You respect him and what he's trying to do, and we all are here saying this dude is really helpful to all of us. He's my partner, and very helpful to me. Right. Sis, look, Big Esau. I forgot your name.
I'm Rachel.
Rachel, yes, Rachel. Why don't you chime in on all this discussion?
Well, for me, I can only speak for myself. Mr. Marvin helped me with a second chance to working, and after 2 weeks, I even injured myself while I was there, and I continued to work. So I'm not going to be down on myself, but I chose not to go back because it was just too hard for me. And also, one of the supervisors kept walking past me every day. He said, once that boot come off your foot, you're back on mattresses. And that kind of scared me too. Instead of me running and talking to Mr. Marvin about it, I just kind of chummed up and just quit, gave up. And I feel bad at the same time, but I mean, I want to work, I want to do good, but that job just wasn't for me. That's what I can say.
Give her a little love.
I got some feedback.
Yep, it was Mr. Marvin. He said the second chance to recycle company.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I got feedback on this, which states that we all have a unique talent. Just like in the job that I'm at right now, the talent is a challenge. They put me to a challenge and put me in front of their computer. They put me on the forklift and they put me in front of the scale and said, Negro, show us what you know. You talked all that college stuff, prove it. And I proved it.
Yes, sir.
And they got out the way, let me put the dock in my own lane. So now, I'm respected all around the place. They said my name, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Campbell.
Right.
Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Campbell.
Yeah, I love it. That's beautiful.
I love it.
Give Mr. Campbell a hand. Donald, would you read that for us, man, so we can...
I just want to say something real quick
yes,
about the job correctness. One thing people fail to realize is this. Most of the people in this room have been in the penitentiary, we're in the joint. A lot of times we just sit there and do our time and hope the time goes by. We're playing cards, we're doing dominoes, we're just trying to hope the time goes by, just doing busy work stuff, right? But the people that are really invested in themselves and in their future are working. They go to work every day. I'm one of them people. You know what I mean? I go to work every day. You know what I mean? When I was in the kitchen, I tried to get 7 in. Now they made it so you can only get 6. But I'd go 7 days a week. I started washing dishes. I did pots and pans. You know what I mean? I did all the stuff that nobody else wanted to do. Because once I did all that, they left me alone. They said he comes to work and he works. You know what I mean? I'm not hiding around no corners. I'm not stealing nothing out the kitchen. You know what I mean? I'm not playing no games on the line, serving line. You know what I mean? And they got banquets come up, I'm serving that too.
That's right.
You know what I mean? My lifestyle, I'm not making a lot of money. You know what I mean? I'm not making a lot of money. Make no mistake about that. You know what I mean? I'm not making a lot of money. But what I'm getting is so valuable because I'm learning how to be consistent, learning how to be honest. You know, as an alcoholic, as dopey, and as criminal, extreme criminal thinker, these things, I'm changing my values. I'm changing internally. And the only way I can do this is do things I'm not used to doing. All that stuff was uncomfortable to me because I wasn't used to doing it. Shay know it. A bunch of people in this room know it. But I did it because I knew when I got to the block, I got to be ready. That when my first few jobs have not been nothing. I mean, they pay very little. But one thing they can say, he comes to work every day. You know what I mean? He's ready. He's on time. And he's going to do whatever you ask him to do. My motto is this. Ain't nothing you can ask me to do that I won't do. If I'm on your premises and you paying me, tell me what you want me to do, man. You know, when I run out of work, I go and say, man, you got something you want me to do over here? You need me over here? You know what I mean? I mean, the little temp agencies and stuff, the work to hire, they take advantage of that sometimes. You know what I mean? I felt like they did that to me. But what they didn't know, though, is I was working on me internally. That's right. You know what I mean? It's not the paycheck I was looking forward to. It wasn't the money I was looking forward to. I love getting up going there because all those years I was incarcerated, I said, I want to go to work every day. I love being around the women, having fun. I love looking at all the different people, different races of people, different genders of people, just laughing, having fun. You know, just living the life, a good life. You know what I mean? That was a good life to me. I heard them do everything. They got high, they smoked cigarettes, they sold drugs, they wouldn't come to work, they complained about their check. At first they look at me, thinking I'm with it, I say, you just don't know, man. I said, I know some people that would love to be in your shoes. You know, you just don't know. You just think you know, right? But you're fantasizing. You know what I mean? You're not in reality based. That's one thing about the job. That's reality based. You have to be consistent. You have to be reliable, you have to be productive, and you damn sure can't start and have
No
a bad
cussing, no
attitude.
cussing, no cussing.
My bad. But
Give him
you
a
can't
hand,
have
give him a
a
hand,
bad
give him a hand. That was great. That was well said, and this was an important discussion that we probably should have had a long time ago. But any time for a good discussion is the right time. So I'm glad we had it.
You want to read the same?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
February 5th. Nothing can dim the light which shines from within. Maya Angelou. Each of us brings to the world unique talents, gifts, and abilities. Even if you don't know what that is or value what you do, someone, somewhere will benefit from your presence. No one can do what you do exactly the way you do it. It is this uniqueness that makes you valuable to the world. We are each as unique and valuable as the other. It was designed that way, a gift from God. Gifts are not given on the basis of race or gender. As a matter of truth, gifts come in many shapes, sizes, and colors.
That's right.
When you do what you do, exactly the way you do it, you are sharing God's gifts. Bestowed for the good of the world. I have something valuable to give the world.
Wow.
Acts of faith.
Wow. I like that.
I love that. So anybody got something on that? You can be on the discussion we're having on the acts. Just jump in. You know.
I really got some out of what Sister said. Well, that was, it made me, I do feel prideful when I go to work. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of negative stuff. And before I got incarcerated, I'm a father. I was never there for my daughter. Since I've been out, I go see her twice a week. I was just with her this weekend out in Burnsville, my sister's house for the weekend. So I feel way more proud for what I'm doing because I know I'm working for her and I gave myself I'm trying this time. You know what I'm saying? My family's proud of me and stuff like that. So I really appreciate what you said because it do make me feel valuable. That's all I have to say.
Let's give that brother some love. You know, I just want to comment on the part what you said about your child. We teach this in class, and you know, children of incarcerated parents become incarcerated themselves. And unfortunately, I've seen it way too often. And the boys, much easier, but the girls end up having a rough life. And it's our responsibility not to turn them over to that street life, you know, without having had the love of a father. So I love what you just said. I appreciate what you just said. And that's worth there. What you said there, worth more than both of them jobs put together.
Yeah, I just don't want her. I was talking to her grandfather when he drops off. I don't want her to, because she's gonna look for attention. I don't want her to think love is between her legs. So that's why I'm trying to be there for her. That's my motto. That's how I go about it.
That's good work. That's good work. That's good work. Somebody else jump in.
I like the part when it said, even if you don't know what it is or value what you do, someone somewhere will benefit from your presence. No one can do exactly what you do. I can look at the next man and see what he do, and I could love what he do and everything else. But I used to have a tendency of where I used to try to mimic someone else and not let my own talent show. You, I'm me. He gonna benefit from you, and he can benefit from me. We all bring different gifts. So I done learn how to be my own man and not the next man.
That's right. That's well said, bro. That's good. Daniel, what you got?
As far as just reading goes, you know, it brings me back into the, I don't know if anybody's read the book, Purpose Driven Life. That's Rick Warren. It just brings me back to the first statement in that book, and he said it's not about you. Even though you may, you know, have all these gifts and talents and this outwardly personality that, you know, might bring you a lot of things, you know, I feel like you've been given all that to, you know, make yourself fit that piece of the puzzle for somebody else so they can come in along and, you know, thrive off of it and pass it along to somebody else. You know, I just feel like we're all connected. And, you know, I'm myself, you know, trying to get to the place to where I can exude that so somebody can feed off it and benefit from it. rather than, you know, just soaking up all the garbage that I'm kicking out or whatever it is I'm not doing. But yeah, that's what I get out of it.
Somebody else jump in. Doug, what you got?
Just to keep going, what Daniel said is that, you know, I for the longest time, I didn't think too highly of myself, and so I tried to put my attention on others, you know, make them better if I could, and, you know, taking the class and things, is that I'm not really any good to anybody if I'm not good to myself.
That's right.
If I don't feel good about myself, you know, then people will see it in me, go from being totally lost and just trying to, like Michael said, is that trying to mimic other people, but I need to be myself, and I will shine through myself and pass it along to other people in the right way.
That's good.
That's good. Doug, and that's what Doug is doing that. Go ahead, Rick.
Oh. No, I was just thinking, that's why, you know, what you teach us is such a blessing to us because, you know, learning about the 5 parts of self and, you know, and learning who we are is what set us on the path to be living the kind of life we should be living. And so the talents that we have can then come out. But they can't come out if we're being something that we're not. You know, because we're covering up our potential. Because we're not being who we are. But once we realize who we are, then we're doing the things we're supposed to be doing. And then the blessings that are there for us will come to us. And so that's why I'm, you know, and for me, I'm so grateful being in my right mind.
Wow.
I have not demonstrated the level of success in my life that I have now ever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But then again, I've only for a short period of time have been myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now that I'm myself, I am truly accepting of everything that comes to me because it's for me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not, you know, it's not like I'm somebody else and I'm receiving something that's meant for somebody else. Right? Everything that comes to me, I totally accept it and embrace it because it's mine. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I'm walking my life out in an authentic way. So if I walk past a blessing, hey, I know it's there for me. And I know it's for me. Right? So, hey man, you know, this is good.
It is good, Will. And you know, give Will some love right there. That touched my heart, man, to hear you say that, man. That's beautiful. Daniel, what you got?
I've been thinking about this since I read it at the beginning. It just kind of goes on the whole team thing, you know, like, you know, there's no I in team, and a lot of people, you know, they say, no, but there's a me and everything, and it, you know, a lot of those people, you know, it's a testament to how immature they are to how the world works. You know, there's so many things going on with so many different people. You know, and I experienced this with the job that I have on the weekends, where, you know, it's a requirement to be a team. If you're going to get the object, you know, the objective is to make customers happy in both my jobs. And you know, if with one of them, you know, our success is based on a team effort. Our sales guys cannot do their job without what me and 2 other guys do. We can't do our jobs without the installers who install these systems. Sure. You know, it's just this going back and forth, like everybody's got their own talent. Me is on the phones, you know, usually I'm out in the field right now. ISR has me not being able to take personal information, but with me doing the phones, then the sales guys can rip up their talents, and then it allows the installers to do their talents, and it just comes full circle all the time as long as everybody is doing their best. And I think that's one of the biggest things in the world.
Well, I like what he's just saying. I'm gonna come right to you. I don't know if y'all saw this, but after the Super Bowl, they had the owner of the Heinz, the owner of the New England Patriots is
Crab.
Yeah. And so he was getting ready to receive the award and trophy. But the former quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback for San Francisco 49ers, Steve Young, said to Craig, he said, sir, I just want to share with you what I think you and your coach have instilled in these men. And that is that the New England Patriots play as a team. And you have, it's a culture with them. You know, it's a culture of winning, a culture of being successful. And even though, you know, there's not really no like starry guys, you know, this and that, each guy who's on that team keeps collecting these rings. So you saw the one commercial in Super Bowl where they had all the.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They had all
that's the best one.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
They had the young players.
Yeah.
And they had the old school players.
Yeah.
And they was all getting ready to play some ball.
Yeah, that was nice.
And then Tom Brady was sitting over there, you know, just cool, like he was ready to receive an award or something like that. And somebody said, "Man, Tom, ain't you gonna get in the game?"
Right.
And Tom Brady pulled off all his Super Bowl rings and then laid them down and made a big old clang, you know, like how gold sounds. If you had a lot of gold, you know that sound. I'm like, and then he got into the game. My point is this: this whole concept of
how they find you have the young old.
yeah, it was beautiful. Look, that was the best commercial to me.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, and I think we're not perfect at it as pop guys, but we got a good thing going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we do operate, and many of us who have been around a while, we do operate as a pretty good team. And that feels good, and that's what has people who come here for the first time and be amazed by it, and come in here and will feel like, wow, what's going on in here?
Right.
And like y'all like some kind of best kept secret or this or that. But what they're doing is they're feeling that energy of camaraderie and trying to be genuinely helpful to the other person.
That's right.
That's really what it's about. So I love that analysis, and we're gonna take a few more comments on that.
Hey Shane, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. And then Peaches, I'm gonna get you in
Dan-
here. Kevin, did he have to leave?
He's doing finals.
Oh, okay.
Daniel, brother Daniel over here, I want to say to you, man, like it was a comment that you made in this room, maybe about a month and a half ago to 2 months ago, when you took that job, that forestry job, and he said about second chances, how they look for people to do different things.
Yeah.
It was a comment that you made, and the way that you got up and got enrolled in that program that inspired me. I was inspired by that because, unbeknownst to you, I wanted to see how well you would approach that and how you would, address that situation. Because that was your opportunity, that was your window of opportunity. And I wanted to watch you and see how you walked towards that door, how you went through that door, and how you maneuvered, right? And you did it. You did it excellently. You graduated through it, you listened to everything, and then on top of that, I came away each week saying to myself, I'm gonna get there too, because I watched you. And this is what this acts, when I hear this acts, I think about you, and I thought about you, because that directly affected my life, man, because I watched you do that. You know what I mean? I had a small-time job. I wanted to do better. I knew I could do better, but I was watching your example, right? A lot of times with that felony on the board, that big guy, little guy syndrome, that felony, you know what I mean? People don't want to take the chance on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a big piece. But that program was geared for people just like us, just like me. And when you did it, I said, I'm going to do this too, no matter what happens.
Wow.
And I walked towards it. And you know what, man? I got a job at MnDOT, man.
Oh, wow.
I work for the state of Minnesota because of what you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
That's what that act's about.
Man, I love that, Donald. Congratulations.
I got a quick question.
Hold on. Oh,
This
go
is
ahead.
Swiffer.
Okay, go.
Did you have any, in your wildest dreams, to when you started this group, did you have any thought that it would explode the way it have done?
Never saw it.
I thank God.
Can I piggyback off that right quick?
You know
What
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
about this is, and I had told Pops this one time before, and then I read it to him, and then he read it too. In Proverbs 16, verse 31, the silver-haired head is a crown of glory if it is found in the way of the righteousness.
Wow.
Pops is what we paid for when we was in the joint.
Okay.
And we recognize it. And the reason we sit in this room now, we came into our own self. We just don't even, a lot of us don't understand it. He done brought us into the fourth part of self, your persona, to who you really was created to be.
That boy pulled out the tiny Bible. Some people pull out that big old one. That boy got a tiny I will say this. I will say this that I didn't see. What Donald just said or shared, or what Will just shared, or what they want. I knew we could do it, but I didn't see it. But I know if we just kept heading in that direction, that this thing was gonna come forward, and it just has done that in an amazing way.
But you were building a body of man, though, Pops. I mean, you knew at some point, we was coming up out of there now. Don't act like don't be sitting over there. Don't be sitting over there like that, man. Right? Listen, you got us all in there, right? We running the whole show, really everywhere. Probably no doggone well, but the gates is going open, man. And when that time comes, we gonna be out here. So we out and popping, and this thing happened like it was supposed to.
That's right. I go along with what he said. Go ahead. Yeah.
But what you're talking about, Mr. Kraft, and the winning, the positive team, the winning attitude, is that the Patriots are like the Pop guys. Is that it's a powerful mesh. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people, when they see it, they want to be part of it because they can feel it.
Right.
But in order for us to be connected in the way that we are, we have to bring our own self. We can't just we can conform to the pop world, but we all need to bring in. That's why we have discussion every week. Everybody's got their own feedback. You can take with it what you want, but it's always positive. It's always the energy. I feel it every week. I leave every week and I'm just revived every single week.
Yes, sir.
And it's just the winning attitude is here.
Oh, I love it. So a couple things. We got a couple of announcements. We ain't heard nothing from the sage. Our sages here, Dr. Curtis Harris. Is you gonna get him involved. But Wayne, we got a couple of important announcements that we want y'all to know about. What are they?
One was reading the letter. It's this Thursday, 5 p.m. Meeting with the new DOC commissioner. All pop guys are welcome.
Where's that going to be?
It's going to be at the DOC commissioner office. I wrote up on the board, 1430 NEG Park Drive.
So if anybody's able to make that, I
5 p.m.
don't know that I'm going to be there, but I would love it if we had some strong pop guy representation at that meeting. There's the address. You could just take a picture of it if you can make it.
How long will the meeting be? Because I get off at 4:30, and it take me It took me 3 hours to get there.
Yeah, but I hope it won't be like that. Man,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
crazy.
it was horrible out there,
10
man.
inches on Thursday.
Oh, this Thursday. Yeah, so you know.
I'm gonna be out, I'm already gonna be in St. Paul.
So anyway, that meeting may or may not even happen because of the weather. But let's just like right now think that it is going to happen.
Right.
And oh yeah, there's a few guys, you know, keep hitting me, saying, "Pop, are we gonna meet? Is there a meeting?" Look, there's always we're gonna always meet. I don't care if they stop the buses from running, then I consider it. But otherwise, we're gonna meet. And then when it's like this, you know, and people need a way who live way out, you know what I mean? We just gotta, you know, we just gotta take people home. That's all. Just a simple thing. But the other announcement is.
Well, another one, I just got an email, another NPR reporter is interested.
In what?
Something about the, mental health issues inside the business, but she's interested in coming and sitting.
You know, I don't know what gonna happen, man, with this, you know.
It seems like it's just, yeah.
Right.
Because I've been getting called.
Yeah, I got it's kind of amazing. But I want to just make sure you remember what Franco was saying. Franco said last week back there where Esau is now. And Franco been dealing with some stuff. Now, partially, you know, he's dealing with a guy, his PO has low self-esteem. And his PO uses his authority over men to make himself feel better. Wow. And this happens in the workforce.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very mindful and very careful about, you know, how you respond to that. You don't want to surrender nothing, and then you got to pick the time when to fight, when to shut up. You know, know when to hold them, when to fold them type thing. That comes into play, right? But so Franco, in some ways, can't say some things that I can say. Bear in mind, old boy won't be too happy about this because that's just the nature. But we have to realize he's borderline trying to send this guy back. You can't hold back.
Right.
You gotta,
blast.
You gotta, that's right, Will. You know what I mean? So you can't hold back. So I just want to read this just real quickly. Regarding Franco, Montez Franco, you may know the Power of People Leadership Institute has provided personal development and leadership training inside of the Minnesota State Correctional Facilities for several years. Research suggests that ex-offenders fare much better in their transitions to the community when they have a direct personal contact with the outside world and trained on the inside. Mr. Franco is a graduate of the Power of People Leadership and Personal Development Series 1 and 2, and became an excellent student teacher for his final few months of incarceration. It wasn't enough for Mr. Franco just to complete the sex offender treatment program inside of Lino Lakes. He certainly could have rested having done so, in that it's so difficult to obtain a certificate of completion from that program. Mr. Franco not only completed that treatment and gained a certificate, and also became a peer leader inside his own treatment program. Many of the skills that he utilized during that period, he learned as a student teacher in the Power of People. What we have found so impressive about Mr. Franco's post-release behavior is that he reconnected immediately with the community-based version of POP and has obtained a full-time job, which he still currently works, and is actively involved in processing the unique vicissitudes of reacclimation to the community with his peers. We have learned over the years that no reentry is easy. Every reentry has its own set of unique challenges relevant to the family, housing, employment, and most importantly, we have found that communication with the post-release authority is important. I am reminded that it currently costs the Minnesota taxpayers around $43,000 a year to house an offender. And given current security concerns inside of the facilities, it is certainly of no value, nor does it make wise economic sense to reincarcerate ex-offenders who have not committed a new crime. Please know that the Power People Leadership Institute is ready to work with you and Mr. Franco in making his post-release experience a successful one. Should you need to contact me directly, please call or email. Wow. What am I saying there?
Hit him with the facts, but softly.
Yeah, there you go.
The ugly did got to the point with the softly.
There you go. So what we're trying to say now, wait a minute now, because you're proposing a violation here, but there has been no crime.
Right.
Say no crime.
No crime.
Yeah, no crime, no time. Now this is the thinking that we got to stick to. If anybody is able to attend that meeting with the new commissioner, and sometimes when you have large meetings, everybody wants to say something, and it lets the guy off the hook. But if there's a few people in there who are talking about safety in prison by reducing the population through no incarceration for technical violations. We present that as a winning strategy for keeping prisons safe. They're going asking for money to hire more people and keep the prison more safe. They're probably going to get it. What do we get out of that? What we have to be able to say is, oh, we agree with that. But here's how it saves everybody money. No new crime, no new time. And that right there is a winning theology. And so if anybody's able to go to that meeting, that's the point I want to make sure hits that room. And everybody gets it before that meeting is over with, and he understands that you know the nature of this beast. I wanted to share this with you because, and Franco called in tonight, he got stuck in traffic, and he got a 7 p.m. curfew, so it was taking him, he's doing good enough just to get to his location. But, so then today, or I think it was today, what happened with his job?
He was let go. His company called the temp agency, told him they wanted somebody who didn't need to take time off. He had to take time off to meet with his PO.
Oh my God.
And as a result of that.
So you see what I mean? This guy has cost him his job. But now let me show you something. So we quickly, Wayne and I got together. We quickly teamed him and sent him over to Marvin. Right? And he went over there today and filled out an application with Marvin. Now he, like you, he was making a little more at the temp agency. He didn't want to go there. He could have went to Marvin at the beginning over at Second Chance and Recycling. But he didn't want to go there. He wanted to pick the money part for whatever reason, and that's cool. But watch this. So he was still hesitating, saying, well, I don't want to make a commitment, and then if these guys are going to violate me, I can't complete it. I'm like, look, dude, you need a job, right? And you need to demonstrate that you are always employed, always. When you on ISR, and he's not on ISR, he's a level 1. But this guy's treating him like he's on ISR.
Oh, he's not on ISR.
He's not on ISR. He's a 1. And he completed treatment and got the certificate. I mean, that's hard to do.
Where does the curfew come?
All of that is, and Franco made some poor choices in his companionship early, and that's cost him some trust. But, I mean, we all kind of have to go through it. Transition offers different issues for everybody. This is what we're saying here. His situation is unique. Different than yours, It's the same, but different. And so don't be, discriminating or hating because he's trying to work out his issues. That's what transition is. You get it. So I'm hitting his PO and his PO's supervisor with this, and I'm going to ask the supervisor for a meeting because, when I talk to the supervisor in person, I'll be talking about this lie detector test and how it's being used or not used to keep guys going through these loops.
There's a state psychologist who said they pretty much make up their decision before they even give you a test. So we're trying to work on that piece. But Kevin, while you're here, I want to get you to chime in here. Sound like you're working on your homework. You're back in school now.
No, I'm actually building a website for someone that I was doing before. That's the reason I got the laptop.
Okay. Well, we really need you to do this. Be up in this group though. So what now in this conversation that we're having, the reading, what would be your thoughts or reaction?
I mean, I didn't hear a lot of what was said before, but I read through the Acts of Faith, and everyone's an individual, and everyone has something to bring something to the table, no matter what it is, how we may look at the next person, the person beside us and see he's better than I am, or it makes me think back to the brother in the white sweater a few weeks ago said that he didn't feel that he had accomplished enough because of what he saw other people had accomplishing. And I told him that you accomplished a lot because I didn't even stay 4 months of my first time. You're still here, but you haven't done what you feel was enough. So I said that you can't base your successes off of someone else's success. And for me, that's something that rings true for me today, tomorrow, and forever, because I've always been a person that wants to get more, even to the point where Pop is like, son, slow down sometimes. And I wish I would took that advice because I was going a little too fast. But it's just realizing my identity and like what it is that I bring individually to whatever circumstance. And to me, like, I can say that that's a bunch of things. I want to really narrow it down, but I mean, I'm gifted. I have natural intelligence, or intellect, I should say, and I can be personable. That's something that I haven't always been able to do. That's something that other people aren't able to do, so I'm proud of it.
That's right. That's right. Give him some love. A couple quick things. I just want to stay on this announcement stuff. That's a real good meeting to be at. We'd like to have pop representation. Leaders are all up in here. I'm probably going to sit that out. I think I'm going to be around, but it just something tells me that it's not the meeting for me that I should be at. The representatives from this table should be there. Philip Holmes, pop guy, is the one who initiated this meeting.
Wow.
He took it upon himself. Now this is what he's gleaning out of the group. He took it upon himself to contact the commissioner and so forth and so on, and he's got to sit down.
Wow.
So let's get up. Yeah, right. Something else I want to mention. We talked with Eddie Miles. We had a little income come in that we said we would go into Stillwater with. So we got our own resource. And so then Lady Miles got back to us and said, yeah, man, I want this. And so he set up some dates for us to come up to the prison and meet with him. I think we're going to start a class there. It'll be our first time in Stillwater. And I'm going to finish it out in maybe 2 years or something like that. And then I'm going to ease out. Now, I want to try in this, DOC's not making any rules because I'm bringing my own resource. Right. So I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and then and they're going to agree to that. Amen. And so watch this. So then, but I'm going to be bringing in, part of what I'm going to be saying is that this particular training is going to have reciprocity as its foundation. Reciprocity means, giving back. Now I'm going to be recycling guys who have been there in that institution, for a time, but who are now doing good, who are living a good life, who are being themselves. We're going to be bringing y'all up, first just having like a guest visit type thing, you know what I mean? Guest visit. Then as we keep on ramping it up, it'll be 2 or 3 sessions out of the 10, and then on that 3rd year, this is my hope. On the 3rd year, in a contract, it would be all pop guys who are in teams that are placed in each one of the facilities, including Stillwater, all of them, including Moose. Everybody got a team, and the team is teaching pop there, and then we'll be just kind of bringing that team in, managing it through here, adding, subtracting, graduating, we'll do the whole thing. But that's just my vision for what could happen to keep pop matriculating through DOC system for years to come. My time for it is getting short now. And I'll just tell you, I was in Lino last night, and
man, I've been gone for a while. I even put it back a week. And when I came home, man, I was tired. You know what I mean? There's an energy. Whatever. But I'm just saying.
We feel you, brother.
I got a couple good ones, and I want to go out, hitting hard in Stillwater and the other 3 that we're already in. So we're gonna work hard this 2 years to get this thing done. But I just want you to hear me say, I can see we got teams John Van, Richard McLemore, Ananias getting there. Y'all are gonna be getting it by this time. You're gonna have a few years out now. So y'all who just been out for a couple, you need to be out a certain amount of years. How many was they saying it is? 1 year. 1 year. You got 1 year, something like that. And be on the good foot. And keep on bringing y'all up in there to show what we can do. And let me tell you why I'm saying this. I have discovered that the impact of crack cocaine on an entire culture of people is so devastating. All we've had time to do is get off of it, but not to evaluate what really happened as a result of it. And what I've been looking at is all these little areas like child protection and the cradle to the prison pipeline and all of this anger and pain in our children, that even the parents who were smoking, but now they're back to themselves and they can't understand
what's going on with the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dynamics that we miss. Even the people the meth community are a derivative of the crack cocaine community, right?
Karma.
It's, you know what I mean? So I got all the meth boys. I got all the meth boys in my class. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at them knowing this thing swept through, and for a time it didn't touch them. For a time. But then they just reprocessed it, figured it out, shook it back up, and threw it back out there like they like it. And now the same thing is happening there. And we got some expertise in it. And so I just want you to know, my hope is that I'm going to be able to get a book out of me. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to, what does the book do? It multiplies. So I might not be there, but the book is there. Just like what we've been doing. We get it, and that's work for us. So, and I just want you all to know I was here. I did my best. And this is what I was talking about. So that's happening. We're going to meet with Eddie Miles. I think it's next week sometime. We're going to make this thing happen. Now we're over here to the Sage. The Sage is here. He's been missing now the last 2 weeks. I'm counting Tuesdays. So go ahead and check in with us, Dr. Harris. Let us know what's going on.
Well, how you brothers?
What's up, bro?
All right. Well, we're doing pretty good. I had started out this year being a little more efficient with my medical appointments. So I got rides, go to and from. So I'm gonna get a whole physical taken care of this year. I'm looking at possibly this spring. I'm going back with my tables. I'm filling my picnic tables. Yeah. Hopefully I can get as many as I projected. I just wanted to do 100.
Okay.
Yeah. And, that'll be some startup capital. I left out when we was talking about jobs, job greatness. I remember one time I was working for the Pepsi-Cola company, and I was often late, very often late. When I got there, I worked like a Hebrew, right? My boss called me in one day, and I was critical about this other guy who wasn't working as hard as I was working, And he made an example, He said, Tommy over there, he said he's not as efficient as you is. He said, but he has never been late. Since he started this job 5 years ago. He said, I know without a doubt when I come here, Tommy is standing at this door.
That's right.
He said, so he's dependable. He's very saying, I will take his dependableness over your efficiency.
Wow.
You know? He says, I said, oh, okay, you know, he said, this, yeah, I don't care if he don't make that quota. I know Tommy is there, so if I need him, you know, he's right there. You know? I said, okay. I saw the importance of that.
Yes,
you know? Yeah.
On time Tommy.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a very eye opener for me, you know, the workplace.
That's good. That's a good word.
Yeah. There's I'm just gonna say this for anybody who's going to that meeting with the commissioner, I'll ride with you, you know. You know, I need some transportation, but I went to that office on the bus. It was a number 3. But I won't try it out here in this snow.
Right.
You know, they probably be looking for me.
Right.
You know.
That's right, brother.
You know, God has given us all a talent, and it took me about 45 years to discover that I didn't have to acquire one if I could find the one I already had.
Yes, sir.
You know, and they're all different. You know, and they're all needed. I used to think that with, well, what do you do? You know, what's your contribution? And I remember this lady told me, she said, I don't do anything but listen.
Wow.
You know, she said the people that I talk to, you know, they don't want me to say anything, they just want me to listen. And I never forget this girl told me that. She said, what makes me sick about some men, she said, y'all always think we want y'all to fix something. She said, we don't want you to fix a damn thing. She said, we want you to listen. Because y'all never listen to us. I said, is that right? Say, no, y'all fix it and then y'all run off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Said that wasn't the purpose.
Yeah.
We want you to sit here and listen to what we're saying. Oh, we put some time in. You
That's
know?
right. Put some time in.
You know, and I thought about that. And I said, some people just don't have that, the patience or the virtue to listen.
Right.
You know, but that's a skill. You know, that's a talent. You know, but some people do. You know.
That's a good point.
That's deep.
That's a deep point. Let's give the stage some dap, though. You know what? It's 8 o'clock, man. I didn't know that, man. I'm thinking you got a small meeting, and you know. But watch this. I just want to show you Tierre text. He said, "Hey, Pop, just checking in. I'm cool. Boss called me in at the last minute to work tonight. But the meeting with Irene Fernandez, that's the commissioner from this district, the native, the Hispanic woman, went cool. And the lady from the BBC went cool too. I don't know who that is.
Joe.
Huh? Joe. Oh yeah, Joe. That's our little English lady. I headed to Stillwater tomorrow morning with David to speak up for prison reform. And Irene was very open to us too. Love you, Pops. I'm just showing you something like what Will said, is that, you know, the leadership training that we have had here clearly has meets its appointed course. And, you know, I'm grateful for that. But I learn as much from you all as you all do from me, but it's time to close and get out of here. I will balance my family values. My goals. I will exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read and do. I will strive to make all relationships. Win-win. No deal. I will under every circumstance. Maintain a positive attitude. I will enjoy my life. With a sense of humor. While taking advantage of opportunities. opportunities.
While taking advantage of opportunities.
And learning from my misfortune.
And learning from my misfortune.
I will.
Act
upon circumstances.
Act upon circumstances.
Rather than have them act upon me.
Rather than have them act upon me.
I will.
On
a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Be proactive with my goals.
Be proactive with my goals.
I will.
Always
protect my wisdom.
Always protect my wisdom.
My health.
And
my happiness.
I
will.
Stay
principle centered.
Stay principle centered.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
I will. Daily learn. Commit. And do. I will. Act according to the POP Leadership Institute.
Act according to the POP Leadership Institute.
Be productive in my community.
And
my private life.
I
want to remind you that it was our pop's son and brother, Marcus Glass, who wrote this. He was such a gifted man, but he wrote it, but he didn't listen to it.
Wow.
Yeah. And now he's gone. But you still here.
That's right.
You gotta take care of your business. I want you to hug somebody, clean up.